Hey everyone, this is Dawn and welcome back to my channel. So I am coming on tonight. I decided to take part. I saw Handi Scandi have an open invitation to take part in a collaboration of ATCs in April, and there's a particular hashtag which I'll have down in the description box below and probably the title as well. But it's doing an ATC, I guess probably a day for the month of April, and I thought that sounded like a lot of fun. So to get started here, I have the Somerset magazine, Somerset Studio, and they come in these magazines. They'll have like sheets of artist papers, and in this particular magazine, I saw this particular page. I've already trimmed it down a little bit, but I thought these images were just fabulous. And the artist here, Artist Paper, Stampington and Company, designed using elements from Kim Collister. I would like to look her up and see more about her, but these images are just so wonderful. So I trimmed out this image here. This one here is a little bit shorter. I almost was wondering if I should cut this one out. Anyways, it had this red background, but I trimmed it off, and it's this wonderful image of this girl. Her hair is kind of flying behind her, and there are fish and balloons, and she's just kind of floating in the sky. Another fish down here. I just thought these images were so fun and whimsical, so I decided these were going to be great inspiration. So let me go ahead and set these aside, and we will make an ATC with that as our focal point. And I did go ahead, so an ATC stands for Artist Trading Card, and the size of them, and if you have playing cards work as well, but 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches is the dimension. And I am using this striped paper. It's got kind of a sea theme on the back. This is Graphic 45 Sun-Kissed Collection, and this is just such pretty paper. But I was liking the graphic stripe. I was trying to go some different directions, but I decided that's what I landed on. And so I went ahead and trimmed that down, and I have inked up the edges a little bit with some Distress ink, chipped sapphire, and I have that ink all over me. You know, I have some of the Tim Holtz tins where you store the ink standing up in them, and they have plastic inside for that. And then I'm finding that the ink is kind of leaking, which I should have thought about that anyway. So got to clean this up a little bit and not store them standing up. I need to store them flat. So anyways, yeah, I got to get this ink off of me. And I decided, I was looking at this. This is an older Hobby Lobby pad by the Paper Studio, Cape Cod. I pulled this paper from it because I was really wanting to focus on the fish theme here. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this down to, let's see, my height is 3.5 inches. And I think I'm going to tear this paper. So I want it to be 3.5 inches tall. Tall. It's late and I'm confusing myself. Yeah, okay, I want to trim it down. I think what I want to do is get this top fish here, because I like the darker blue of it. 3.5 inches. 2, 3, yep, making sure I'm measuring correctly. Okay, that's where I'm going to trim that down. And then that should fit our 3.5 inches. Yes, okay. Sometimes I confuse myself. And I'm just going to tear this piece. Yes, and then she can be our focal point. I'm loving the fishes there. I looked at them and I didn't think they were going to work. And I kind of set them aside. I was trying a couple other things, but yeah, you won't see them a whole lot, but I think that's pretty cute. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this chipped sapphire to the edges of this page, or this little sheet. And I'm going to leave the white showing here in the middle. And I've got some, oh my goodness, this I should have a paper towel or something over here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down. My goodness, I have this ink everywhere. Even on the bottom. I got to stop touching that. All right. Hopefully I don't get ink where I don't want it. ETCs, I think, are so fun. Just a little piece of artwork. It can be anything you want. Part of me kind of wanted a little prompt, but then again, you know, the world is our oyster here. We can do whatever we like. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of these speckles, this really old Stampin' Up! Stamp. And I'm just gonna, you know what, maybe I'll do a little bit on here too. Sometimes they're just so stark, I like to add a little bit of interest. Might be a little too much, but we're gonna go with that. Just in some simple black ink. Yeah, I like that a little better, not so clean. And then I think I want to, do I have a piece of black paper over here? Oh yeah, here's a small piece. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this little picture a border to make it stand out a little bit. Our little piece of artwork, I think it is so lovely. All right, let's go ahead and trim this to fit. Just I want the slightest little border. And I'm not the best straight cutter, otherwise I would do this with scissors, but nope, I need my trimmer. All right, we'll trim this down just a touch. All right, I think that will make her stand out a little better. Lovely. All right, let's set the trimmer aside. Let's go ahead and see how that's going to work on here. Yes, 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 yes. So cute. I love this. All right, let's go ahead and glue these two pieces together. All right. All right, trying to line it up straight. All right, and then last but not least, I found these are Saint Tropez, is that how you say it? Prima puffy stickers. I know this is an older collection. I don't know what year it came. And it had these wonderful balloons, and I saw this balloon in this sticker pack, and I thought that would be fun to add on here as well. So do I want to leave her straight? I generally like to... Oh yeah, that'll be cute. Okay, I'm going to put her down at an angle. I think that'll be great. So this will be for April 1st. This video won't go up, I guess, until April 2nd because it is really late. I was trying to do this a little bit earlier, but it's been a bit of a day. So I find time to craft when I can, probably like most of you guys. All right, I'm going to move that over just a touch. I love this so much. And then this is our balloon. I don't want the circle competing with her dress too much, and I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to make sure this doesn't come off. And this will be our first ATC for the ATCs in April collab with Handi Scandi. Check it out if you want to participate. And then there's also the opportunity. Oh, here's where the ink is pulling around the side. Okay, okay. Oh, I do have a tissue. Okay, good enough. I knew I had wiped some off me earlier. I gotta fix that. Goodness. Will not store my ink like that anymore. All right, so here is my first ATC. I think that is awfully sweet. All right, so check out Handi Scandi if you would like to participate. And oh, what I was going to say is there's also an opportunity for swapping the ATCs at the end of the month. So I don't know how that will look. So stay tuned for Handi Scandi's channel for more information. And I guess I will see you in the next one.